What's going on, guys? This is Brad with Trading OTCs with Techbuds-Solutions, and do I have a special treat for you tonight? Um, Tonight's we're doing something a little bit different. I know usually Monday nights we talk about over-the-counter stocks and what we're looking at for the day, and what to look forward to for the week on Mondays. But tonight we're doing something a little bit different. I'm calling it Millionaire Mondays, and if you've been following my channel regularly, you know that I've been actually searching for someone who has a net worth of $1 million or more. And I found that person. Somebody reached out to me who subscribes to my channel regularly. And we had a great conversation actually just this evening and over the weekend. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I think that this is going to be something that's going to be great for you guys. It's great for me just to hear his story. We're going to take it away from there. So his name, first off, is Cameron. Cameron, is it Benion?
Yeah. Yep.
Cameron Benion. And so Cameron is 24 years old. His net worth is over $1 million. And I'm going to let Cameron take it away. So Cameron, how about you tell us, what you do for a living and how you got started, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm actually 26. So I'm actually a little bit
26.
Older.
Sorry.
A little bit older. No, you're good though. So yeah, so I've kind of branched out, and obviously I've diversified. As Brad said, I've watched his channel for a little bit, and have always invested quite a bit. But kind of the big thing that got me started and what really kind of was able to propel a lot of my income and everything like that was summer sales and doing sales for ADT home security. So a lot of people have probably seen the little blue ADT signs out in everybody's yards and everything like that. I'd had a friend at college and everything. He was a roommate that came in and had told me that he had made 6 figures in like 4 months selling. And at that time, being a sophomore, I think I was in college, it just seemed unreal. It seemed unbelievable. And so since then, I've obviously branched out. I'm in some other different investments. We can kind of talk about that and everything as well. But that's really how I got started in I guess making a larger sum of money. You don't feel rich. You definitely don't feel like you're rich. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear. And we were just talking about this before. It's like, when people think about being a millionaire, you think of people that are like top executives or whatever else. But you're simply just in sales, and you're investing, and you got your hand in the stock market too. For people who can follow him, your Young Money Investments on YouTube, and I think your Young Money Investments. Did you have Instagram and stuff too?
Yeah, so my Instagram is camben23, so super simple, CAMBEN 23. I kind of incorporated my personal Instagram with all my Young Money stuff, and then Young Money Investments is the YouTube channel and everything as well. So kind of doing more Ricky style, do more swing trading, as well as long-term investing. I know, sometimes it's not like the pretty way to invest. It's never glitzy and glamorous, but that's really how I started investing. I was 14, 15 years old when I had started that. And that's really because I wanted to play it safe, and I've seen really great returns. I mean, I've averaged great returns. It's nothing like, Brad or anything like that, but that's kind of the focus of the channel, at least at the moment.
Perfect. All right. So I'm just going to start in. So for those of you, and feel free, guys, if you're in the chat, I'm seeing the chat's a little bit quiet. I know you guys are probably pretty glued to it, which understandably so. But at the end of this, we're going to be asking Cameron some questions from you guys. So like if you guys have any questions on that maybe we didn't cover throughout this interview, feel free to jump in and ask away. So first thing I'm going to ask, what is it that you're passionate about? Obviously you do, sales and that sort of thing. And that's something that, obviously drives you to do what you do, and that you're in investments as well. But is there anything in particular that you're passionate about that maybe has kind of led to your success?
I think just people. I think honestly and truly being passionate about people has kind of what's propelled it, because whether it's in, the investments and that kind of thing and teaching people, kind of as Brad has, I mean, which is really neat. Being passionate about people and success in that has kind of been a big thing. I wanted to go into medicine. That was kind of my goal when I started out here. at school and everything. I was planning on going into ophthalmology and everything like that, which is eye surgery. But as I realized that I could make so much more doing some of these other things and going along with different investments and business opportunities, that kind of changed. But I think that focus on being able to help people and teach, I totally believe that, you get out of things what you put into it.
Right.
And if you go into something being very, very self-centered and very focused on yourself, you're never going to reach your full potential. Again, that's my opinion, to take it with a grain of salt.
Sure.
But that's what I'm passionate about. I'm really just passionate about helping people, because there's so much. I think the thing that my brother and I talked about just a couple of days ago, he's also really, really become successful over the past year or so with sales and things like that. And that's, you just kind of reap what you sow. I mean, if you put into this, or you go into this kind of, I don't know, being all about yourself, you're never going to reach your full potential, at least.
Perfect. I love that answer. Somebody just chimed in and said, asked, Chris here asks, when did you take trading seriously?
Um, you know, I re it's kind of funny. I don't think it was probably till about a year and a half ago. I mean, to be honest, probably even a year. I mean, really trading. I mean, I'd always been very interested in it. And when I say took it seriously, I mean, I started putting a lot more in there. I mean, I always took trading seriously probably since that sophomore year. I mean, my investor, I started off with a financial advisor, which I don't really recommend. I mean, Brad can probably vouch for me on that too, working for T Rowe before and everything. Um, it's great to have other people sometimes invest your money, but they're never going to do as good of a job for you. And so like I said, I mean, I guess I was serious about it, but really my level of seriousness wasn't till probably about a year ago, which, I mean, and what I call serious is like, I literally probably spend a solid hour to hour and a half doing research every day. And my job has been it's really nice that it's afforded me the opportunity to do that. Um, but if you really do want to make money trading, I mean, it takes time. I think so many people message me all the time and say, "Hey, Cameron, like teach me how or show me how." Like that, I get that all the time. But a lot of people don't have the drive, and so it's not to discourage any of you. It's just to let you guys know, kind of up front on this road, that you have to put in the work if you want to reap the rewards.
Right, right.
So,
Perfect answer with that too. And I also want to address with you guys too that, and I hope I don't get too personal, Cameron, but like Cameron expressed to me that, like, he didn't come from money. Much like myself, kind of had a childhood with a single mom, and times weren't always great, and so that's the other part of this too. It's like I wanted to bring to light for you guys that achieving millionaire status isn't impossible for you. It is very achievable if you're willing to put in the work. And no, by no means am I saying it's easy, and obviously it didn't come easy for Cameron either. But I just want to address that that this isn't going to be something that where people are just going to come from money and, oh, I just inherited it and here I am and I'm just maintaining my status quo. Like, Cameron, you literally worked for that, right?
yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. I mean, and I know for those of you that watch Brad's channel and those of you that watch Ricky's channel and things like that, I know like the goal and even my dream, I mean, is to be a full-time trader, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you would love to make six figures every year trading from the comfort of your house and things like that, no commute. But the reality is I really didn't think I was that good of a trader when I started. It's because I put my money in the hands of someone else. But I think the big thing, at least for me, was I needed a job that could give me the capital I needed to make mistakes investing, the same funnel money into that account so that if I did have a 10% growth, it wasn't just $100 growth or a $50 gain, right? I mean, those are great and those are great learning experiences, but $100 unfortunately isn't going to pay my rent or things like that. And so I had to find a job, and it was hard work, and it still is. I mean, I'm still doing this pretty much full time. Well, yeah, I mean, it is full time. But it's not easy work. And so you have to kind of go into these things if you want to achieve that status, whatever it may be. Just be willing to put in the work, and like I said, I'd love to be, working at my desk all day long in an air conditioned room, but at the end of the day, there's something satisfactory about being able to go out, work hard, sweat, make that money, and then also turn it into something else. That's kind of at least my philosophy on it and how I've done it.
Perfect. I got somebody who actually chimed in on Discord. I'm reading from my phone.
Okay,
So Allie, who was featured in one of my videos last week, she says, "Do you actually work locally or nationally? And do you have employees that like work under you, or are you strictly in sales?
great
Um,
question.
and you work, and do you work just for that company?"
Yeah, so it's an authorized ADT dealer. It's called Safe Home Control. They're based out of Provo, Utah. So I mean, I guess I technically could, if you're really interested in doing summer sales, like I guess I could plug that, if someone is interested. You can email me. It's cameronbenyon@gmail.com. But basically it is nationally. Like I said, the office is in Provo, Utah. I'm in Idaho right now going to school. But I also have a residence in Louisiana where the office that I work in is based out of. So the company has offices in multiple parts of the country. We have an office in California, we have an office in Washington, Texas offices. So they're all over the place. But basically you can, build a group of guys or a team, and have an office. And so I do have other guys that work with me. But this is really the first year that I've kind of branched out and kind of added a lot more recruits. The nice thing is you really don't have to, a lot of times in these kinds of industries, you need to have a large following or a large group of guys working for you to make that money or to make a lot of money. And at least in this business or in our specific company, you don't need that to make a lot. So that's kind of the background information, at least with the authorized ADT dealer and everything.
Perfect. That was a good question. Thanks, Allie.
Yeah, great question.
And I guess I think we need to clear that up too. Is that you make most of your money through sales just in the summer months, right? This isn't like a year-long thing. The crazy part about Cameron's job is that he makes the majority of his money just in a few short months, right?
Yeah, so I know it's like crazy to think about, but probably 4.5 months is where I make the bulk of my salary or money, I guess, not salary, commission and everything. So it is nice that, technically you can be a full-time student and you could go out and you could work from April to August or mid-April or whatever it may be, and make, six figures. It's not something that's, I think, very well known. At least I didn't know anything about this kind of job or that this offer that kind of money, but it gives you the flexibility and the ability then to, like I said, go to school full time and not have to work. And that's really the ploy that, or not the ploy, but kind of the whole reason I started doing this was because I wanted to be able to pay for school and pay for everything without working full time, taking biology classes.
Right. Awesome. Here's a good question. Alex chimes in and asks, how long did it take you to really get a foothold and a firm understanding of the stock market, and what worked for you?
I think, it's hard. Like I said, I think it just was dependent upon like my level of work ethic. I mean, when I first started, like I said, I really trusted the Edward Jones financial advisor to like put my money in the right mutual funds and stuff like that. And I cringe like thinking about that now. Because I mean, he gave me a good lip service, like told me I was like doing great things, and I was really interested. Like he was impressed with how young I was, that I would check, ticker symbols and things like that. But and maybe because YouTube wasn't so popular back then either. I mean, like I said, we're talking 10, 11 years ago now, so it wasn't popular. But I guess, I mean, what was the question again? Give me the.
So and I want to make sure that you're checking out your camera too, by the way. So how long did it take for for you to really get a foothold and a firm understanding of the stock market, and like what actually worked for you? So
Yeah.
so let's just go like after you dealt with Edward Jones and stuff. Like when did you start realizing that like it was working, like you could do this yourself and it was actually working?
Probably 2 years ago. So probably when I like downloaded the Robinhood app, and I know Brad's gonna give me a whole bunch of crap for that right now, talking about Robinhood, right? But for somebody that, like I said at the time, I mean, had a decent amount, but I hated after I even while I had money at Edward Jones, I'd had money in a USAA brokerage account, which USAA is like a federal, it's like a US military, like federal savings bank, and I had a brokerage account with them, but like I'm telling you, I was super frugal and like super like penny pincher, and ended up like I hated the fees. And so someone told me like I could get on Robinhood and it was free. And so when I was dealing with like blue chip stocks, I always was told like, oh, what Brad does is like witchcraft and like sorcery, like it wasn't good. And so I never messed with that. I didn't swing trade because every time I tried to swing trade, like I would lose money. And yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. Robinhood's nice for that. I mean, I still use Robinhood, disclaimer, but Brad's trying to get me to like switch over, and so I might be switching
because it's trash, bro.
Yeah, it's trash. Like try. I'll probably get that E-Trade account more funded. It has like, I don't know, it probably has like 10 or 15K in it, but I'll like fund it, and I'm like making like a pact with Brad, like I'll try to use E-Trade and see what happens. But that's like I said, that's just my road, that's just my journey. If you can learn from my mistakes, like
Robinhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people coming in, they're like, yeah, get away from Robinhood, and Robinhood.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just my path. Take it or leave it, follow it or like learn from it. I'd say learn from it. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. Get involved earlier. Like if the biggest, I think, regret I have, and I don't have a whole lot of regrets with anything, but I wish I would have started doing the research sooner, because compound interest is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's my thoughts on it.
Perfect. All right. So let's see here. Oh yeah. So, a couple of people have already saying like, they left Robinhood and haven't looked back.
Good to know.
Yeah. So you won't be missing anything once you leave. I think you can understand the sentiment we have here now with Robinhood. You know what? I like this question because we just talked about this before we went on air, Cameron. So I already know what answer I would give, but I'm gonna let you take this one. So someone asked, is it worth it to start trading with $500, or should I stick to paper trading until I can build enough savings to invest with? And that's coming from Crazy Cash.
Crazy Cash. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I get that question a lot just because, I mean, the whole purpose of my YouTube channel was to just it still is. I mean, the root of my channel is to help friends and family. And so I get that question a lot, like, I have $500 or whatever to invest, $300 to invest. Like, what should I do? And you're going to pay, I mean, I consider losses like tuition to the market, right? You're going to have losses and everything. It's really hard to take a $300 account or a $500 account and turn that into 1,000, or I mean, even turn it into 1,000. I mean, literally, double your money. And so my problem, at least, is I would get discouraged by like $20 gains or $30 gains. Not that that's not decent money, but like you have to be so risky in order to start to make that money, that I would just recommend paper trading. I mean, watch Brad's channel, I mean, some of these other YouTubers that have been around and established, like you can learn so much from it. It takes time. Like, I'm not going to lie and tell you like, oh, you can learn how to trade, super fast. But I mean, literally with my net worth and everything, I still have a paper trading account because I'm still trying to refine some different skills that I'm wanting to add. And so my thought is like, even though I've made, I mean, hundreds of percents over the course of, trading, over my years, like I still have an account because I'm still not perfect. And so $500 just isn't going to probably give you the return you want. That's my long answer to it, Brad.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love that you used that you view losses as like tuition paid. Like that was like perfect. I love that. That was something we didn't talk about, but like I really like that answer. That was awesome. Someone said lesson equals tuition for the market. Yeah, see, yeah, I agree, Jake. That was amazing. Really love that. I don't know where you got that from, but that was cool. It's just off the fly. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a Cameron quote, guys. It's a Cameron quote. So
yeah, credit for it.
One question that I have written down was, are there any positive moments or memories from your life that you think shaped who you are today, you know, in the firm, and when it comes to like, you know, your work ethic and like, you know, how hard you work. And are there any negative events or memories that you think shaped you, who you are today?
I think negative ones, I mean, I'm going to take like the last part first. Like, I think negative ones have actually honestly and truly defined me more like who I am today. Cause I can think of, like, I think I made a post. I mean, if any of you guys start following me on Instagram or on like Facebook or whatever, like I made a post a couple weeks back where I was just like thankful. So my arms, if you notice too, like I used to have like 19-inch arms 2 months ago and I snapped my humerus in half.
Oh my
And
gosh. Would you
like,
lifting that or
yeah,
something?
what's that?
Did you do that like lifting or something?
Arm
Or what?
wrestling. I was arm wrestling some guy and it literally just like snapped. And
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah, so don't arm wrestle it.
crazy.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So yeah, so I mean I was just kind of reflecting back on that and reflecting back on like starting work at ADT, you know, working for ADT and everything. And then getting into stocks and getting this channel and everything going. And like I didn't get into AD. I didn't believe really in myself, like that I could do ADT or that I'd be a good salesman. I honestly like was more introverted and reserved. And it was a girl that I was with at the time. She was like, "No, you can do it." Like blah 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 blah. The relationship ended up not working out, but like because of her, like I ended up, you know, doing ADT stuff. I dated another girl for like 2 years, and again, I was like planning on going into medicine and everything like that. And then just some stuff happened. I ended up taking some time off of school and ended up getting into trading and watching a whole bunch of videos. And I think I'm the trader that I am now, like today, because of that. And so I think negative things, if you can persevere through the storm, like those are really what define you. That's what makes you who you are. Like the good times I'm not who I am because of like the good times, but positive stuff, I think like we all don't have like great parents, but I mean I had like I grew up with my mom and I have another younger brother. Um and like I think her I guess example was really important because she always said like I don't want to be a single mom on like food stamps or like on government support or things like that. And I'm not like knocking that or anything like that, but like most of you are probably driven, right? Most of you are probably, you know, wanting to be entrepreneurial that are watching this channel. And so I really admired, especially looking back now, that my mom like didn't want a handout. She wanted to like work hard. And although it wasn't easy, she just taught us like you can make your dreams possible. And so it's cool to see like that she taught us that even back when I think it was really difficult for her financially. And now to see like the prosperity as well for like everybody in our family has been pretty awesome, pretty dope. So
Yeah, yeah. I think there's something to be said for somebody who, you know, have been, I think, you know, I don't know how to, I guess, view that. I mean, I personally know that the hard times that I've been through has what it's been what led me to my success, right? Because I know
yeah,
what it's like to not have a lot. And so like I don't want to ever be that way again. And you know, my folks and my family, they worked um as hard as they could to make sure that they provided for us. But like, you know, there were some hard times, and like, so my whole thing is like, I don't want to be that way, and I don't want to. I want to improve on what they've afforded to me, and so I'm with you there. Like, I think there's times of adversity, and I think it's how you respond to that adversity as is what leads you to that success. I think
yeah,
it's safe to say that most people go through some kind of adversity in their life, whether it's traumatic or whatever. And I think it's all on how you respond to that. You know, everybody fails. There isn't one person that has been successful at every turning point in their life. But I think it's how you respond to that failure, how you get back up and change whatever it is that you need to change about yourself to get motivated to just keep going. So yeah, I can totally appreciate that.
yeah, I think we're on the same page for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Just looking through some questions here. You guys have some really good ones. I'm really excited about this. It seems like you guys are receiving it pretty well. Have you taken a significant hit on your account? Oh, scroll back up. I have to scroll back up. Have you taken a significant hit on your account? And if you did, what gave you the grit to keep moving forward with trading?
Yeah, we are just actually chatting about this like right before we went live and everything. So I did. I took like a I took like a $34,000 hit like a couple months back. This is like 4 months back, I think. And that sucked. Like that was a lot of my account. And I think I learned, like, again, you learn from like the hard times, right? Like as I watched that freaking stock just slide and watch my account just take this massive hit, it was, I'm not lying, like it does hurt your stomach. Like you do feel like there's a knife in your stomach at that point. And I learned two things. I learned first thing is don't do things based off of the opinions of others. Like granted, you know, you can start to believe it and feel it, but if you're just investing off of one person's opinion, you're probably, sometimes you're going to do good, right? Sometimes you're going to get profit. But like I was overextended in the stock, so I learned don't overextend into something just because you see this as being like a home run play. Don't listen to people that don't know more than you. Like the guy that I listened to was like a friend, and he definitely was not as good of an investor as me, and he didn't have as much skin on the line. Like he did not have nearly the same amount of money in it. And I just learned like you have to do something, you have to be able to do it for yourself. And so that bath was sucky. Yeah, like I still to this day, I've like sworn to myself, unless like I'm trading like a couple hundred thou on a position, I never will lose 30,000 on another position again. Like that sucked. Like it was really bad. So yeah.
So there you have it, folks. How many times have I said not to listen to the opinions of others and don't trade about don't, what was it? Two things. Don't trade into something that you don't understand, and don't trade based off of somebody else's opinion. And you heard it straight from someone who is a millionaire who made the same mistake, and now he's going to learn from that as well.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Just seeing if there's anything else, guys. Just keep them coming. This is great. I think I have one more question from Discord. Somebody was asking, do you have a secret to selling any of your positions? Is there some kind of special line or target you set for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I do a lot of technical analysis now, at least with most of my plays and everything. So I think the videos will kind of explain that because every stock is different, right? And I think even you can almost even say different market, every market is different. Like, I mean, maybe a strategy that's working this year didn't work last year and vice versa, right? I mean, for example, like earnings reports this year. I don't know if you do earnings reports, Brad, if you play off of those at all.
No,
But
we don't.
like, you know, sometimes like earnings used to like be a great catalyst, but like I swear for like the past year, earnings have like tanked stocks. And so I can't say that there's always like a set pattern, but like my channel is kind of dedicated to helping you figure out those patterns and things like that. So if you want to check it out, you know, you're welcome to. If not, no worries. But that's kind of my feeling on it, at least.
Yeah, definitely check out you know, Cameron's channel. Again, it's Young Money Investments. I think it's all one word, right? All one word, Young Money Investments.
I think there's spaces in it. I think it
Okay.
is.
Well, either way, you can just Google search it. You know, he's just starting out very modestly. I think
super small.
He's got like 40 subscribers right now, but he literally just started. But I will tell you that your intro video is freaking awesome. I told him this when I first met up with him. That like his intro video is freaking crazy. Like I thought it was awesome. I'm very big into like
get a Mavic Air. Get a Mavic.
Yeah, well, like I'm like huge on, you know, like I love watching vloggers and like the quality of the video and like throwing, you know, like music and stuff behind it. And when I was watching it, I was like, man, this is awesome. And then, you know, here you are trading on Robinhood. I'm like, man, come on now.
It's true. I know. Like, okay, so I keep it on Robinhood to stay real with people that
I
have like
know.
accounts.
I'm just giving you a hard time. You gotta understand, this is how like the OTC works. Everybody has to bust on everybody, and you're no exception.
So true. So true.
All right. So let's see here. What is we'll ask a couple more and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good.
What was one of your biggest obstacles you had to overcome, like psychologically, when it comes to trading?
Biggest obstacle psychologically that I had to overcome trading. I think growing position size, right? Like, I mean, as you continually get bigger and bigger amounts a month, for loss is greater, right? Like your swings and your fluctuations and stuff, depending on your style of trading, right? Like I'm talking about like swing trading and long-term trading. What Brad's doing, you know, with OTCs and that kind of stuff, it's a whole different style. So I need to like maybe preface that. But like as my position size started to get larger, I think it was like just trying to realize like, crud, yes, I can make a lot, but those swings during the day can be a lot greater. And so that was probably the biggest like difficulty, at least for me. I don't know. What was it for you?
We have a term that's called stones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so you got to have, I guess, the wherewithal, or I call it risk tolerance. It depends on your risk tolerance. That's the answer that I usually give people. If you're willing to, if you're putting $1,000 into something, you're willing to risk that $1,000. Imagine all of it being gone, and that you're gonna have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying that that's going to happen? No, but you have to go in with the mentality that, this is my risk tolerance and this is what I'm willing to lose. And I'm just going to go for it because I've done the work and I've done, put the time and energy in for this. And it also comes down to confidence. I'm confident in the amount of work that I've done to buy into this stock, and I'm going to do that. And if it drops, my thing is like, pay attention to your level twos, everything is that we've talked about on my channel, to see how the stock's reacting on, and then you can decide, okay, I'm just going to cut my losses because it's not going to move anywhere. Clearly this thing isn't going. Or do you stay in because you have done your work and you know what's coming as far as like catalysts are concerned, or earnings, or anything like that. And so that's, the long answer, I guess. There's really no short answer to something like that, but that's basically what it's called. Some people were shouting out stones. Yeah, that's like the running joke within my chat group. So guys, I know a lot of you have been asking about Cameron's link, and I'm going to go ahead and put Cameron's link in my description. I failed to do that at the beginning of this video, so I'll go back and edit that. So if you guys are watching this later on, go ahead and click on his link. But in the meantime, you can go ahead and just search Young Money Investments, and you'll be able to find his channel, no problem.
Be the first one, I think.
Yeah. If you could have one resource you could use to help with your trading, what would it be?
One resource, like,
it would be my YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're not talking about like technical tools and everything, if you're just talking about like what has taught me the most, YouTube. I mean, YouTube by far. Whoops, sorry, I'm getting notifications here. Yeah, YouTube by far. I mean, there is so many videos, and like I said, I know it sounds like weird, but like I don't use Netflix anymore. I don't use Hulu. Like I know Brad loves his Netflix channel stuff. Netflix shows.
I do love me some Netflix.
But I literally like don't watch anything else but YouTube videos, and it's kind of boring. Like friends will come over and they're like, "Hey, what are you watching? Let's watch something." And I'm like, "I'm watching like YouTube videos and stuff." Like,
but I think that and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think that leads to another avenue of this, right? Yeah. And I think this is a characteristic of a lot of people who have achieved that millionaire status of like, they're constantly learning. Yeah. And, you watching YouTube, that's a form of learning, right? I know a lot of millionaires that I've known of, they, read books, that they do a lot of reading. They're constantly learning and developing just their brain.
Yeah.
And I think that by you saying that, I'm just watching YouTube learning stuff, but that's just it. Like, you're constantly learning. You're never satisfied with just what you already know, and you're eager to just continue learning. And, the fortunate thing is that in this day and age, if you want to learn about something, you go on YouTube. I mean, if I need to know how to, change a water pump on the Jeep, I just go to YouTube. Not that I don't already know how to do that, but like, you could just go on there and somebody already has a video up of it, of like, how to change a water pump. And it's just crazy to me that there's so much out there, and there's some things you got to be careful about, because there's certain parts of it, right, that aren't verified as far as like, educational and stuff like that goes. But, I think you're onto something when it comes to something like that you're always just trying to learn more in order to just improve your quality of life or whatever. I think there's something to be said for that.
I think like my favorite quote is like, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you like, I don't know what it is. It'll make you something, right? There's like, will make you a fortune. That's what it is. I think self-education will make you a fortune. And I totally believe in that. Like, I mean, if you're motivated, like that's really how you're going to learn. Like school, I mean, and I hate to bash on school and everything. I'm still in school. That's kind of the funny, like the irony of this is I'm still getting my degree. But like school's not going to teach you the tools that you need if you really do want to make a lot of money. I mean, it just usually teaches you how to be like a good like employee. Like you go to class, you write assignments, you turn them into the teacher, right? You go to work, you write up a report for your boss, you turn it in. Like it teaches you how to like stay in the box. And I think what really has helped me make and be so successful has been like being able to kind of work outside the box. And like I haven't felt as fulfilled as I do now, like actually learning on my own, especially because it's stuff that I like too. So if you can do that, I think you can really achieve success in whatever it is, whether it's, you know, a business that you're starting, Amazon stuff, OTC stocks, or whatever, you know. That's just my opinion on it, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And you know, like, um, I'm sorry, my Discord keeps like blowing up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get questions from like all different angles, but
Yeah.
no, I agree. And, you know, I just think that there's just something to be said. Like if you're driven to get to something, and this isn't even about, and I want to address this too. The reason that I want to bring millionaires on is because it's not just about the money either, right? And I'm sure that you can relate to this as well, Cameron. Like you weren't just aspiring to be a millionaire and that was it. It's about the freedom, and I think you and I are about to experience this relatively soon when it comes to like not being tied to a desk or you know, some 9 to 5 thing. It's that freedom to be able to work for yourself and provide for yourself in the way that you want to. And it's like, you know, being able to have that freedom and, you know, just saying, you know, I'm going to take my wife out to dinner, or I'm going to just take the day off and spend it with her, or I'm just taking the kids out of school and we're going to go do something. Like it's really hard to do that when you have a structured schedule. And I'm not saying that everybody should be able to do that, but like, because we do have, you know, essential personnel such as nurses, doctors, and whatever else that, you know, they have to go to work because most of those people are very passionate about what they do and they love to help people. But you know, for those of us who are looking for that freedom, I think, you know, having that work ethic that like you have and, you know, how I have, and it's like,
Mhm.
there's something unique about somebody who has a net worth of over $1 million and has achieved that millionaire status. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to tap into. And I'm hoping that by you joining me tonight, it's going to lead into more conversation with other millionaires so that we can, you know, get different points of view on how they got there. Because you know, as well as I do, that there's more than one way to get there.
Mhm. Yeah.
And, you know, I think that I'm hoping, my hope is that this sparks something. So I think we're going to, you know, end it there. We've been talking for about 40 minutes or so. I'd hate to bore you guys to death. Although I'm super interested. This has been great. I think a lot of people are really interested in this too. It looks like it's being received pretty well. Oh, you know what? No. Okay. And so with that, guys, I just want to thank you for joining me tonight. If this is your first time visiting my channel, you know, first off, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. This isn't our typical, you know, live stream. This is again a segment that I'm going to start regularly. Hopefully, and the only way that I'm going to do that regularly, though, if this is something that you really enjoyed, please, if you know somebody who is a millionaire, and I'm not just talking about like they have $1 million in the bank. If your net worth is $1 million, that includes all your assets plus your cash, so your house, cars, whatever. If that's worth $1 million or more, then please have them reach out to me either through Discord. I provide my Discord link in the description, or you can reach out to me on Facebook within our Techbuds-Solutions group as well. And you know, I'd really like to make this a regular thing. I think you guys really liked it. I certainly enjoyed it. And so I'm going to leave it at that. Cameron, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you know, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say, if you want to plug your channel again real quick.
No, yeah. Young Money Investments is the channel again. You can follow me on Instagram. It's CamBen23. I think it's pretty easy to find me. Cameron Bennion, Bennion. Cameron is just normal spelling. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free to follow me. Like I said, like Brad said, I mean, it's just getting started. It's primarily just to help, like I said, it's not like big or anything like that. So like you don't have to follow it, but I'd be more than happy to help everybody. I mean, I think like the thing Brad and I share in common mostly, I mean, our investment styles are very different. I feel like I'm still finding my style, you know, but even though we're different, I think we both love to help people. So that's like my
Absolutely.
big thing is
Absolutely. YouTube doesn't pay, people. It don't.
Yeah.
So,
No,
we're
I'm
doing this
not.
because we love
Yeah.
it. We love to do it. So
Yeah.
So thank you, Cameron. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you are not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Push that subscribe button. If you like tonight's show, also smash that like button. And I will see you all before the bell. That's all I got for you guys tonight. B Smith is out.